Good morning, fellow students, mentors, and intrigued spectators. Welcome to our presentation. My name is Miriam.
I'm Myra.
My name is Mariam.
And I'm Aram.
To many of you, we are known as Team 1, but today you will know us as the Climate Combators. In this presentation, you will see what we have been working on for the past few weeks. Starting off, we were quick to find a problem that had our passion, attention, and that needed to be addressed: global warming and climate change. The world is slowly dying, and everyone is somewhat aware of the disasters that may loom above our heads as we continue to use the planet like it's ready to be discarded. However, how much do you actually know about it? That's exactly what Climate Combaters is for. Looking at the gaming industry, video games have been fast growing since before many of us were born. So why not use this existing industry to help address real world problems, literally? Introducing Climate Combaters, a simple and interactive and fun game that gives you information that's easy to access, understand, and share. But how did we come up with the game, and why is it something we see as a problem to solve? Let's move on to Myra, who will be providing us with that information.
Now going over the problem at hand. According to BBC News, almost 3 out of 5 children are worried about the impact that climate change will have on their lives. The majority of the youth of today is not aware of how their daily habits and lifestyle can directly contribute to the enhanced greenhouse effect and consequently climate change. With LED strip lights as room decor and 931 million metric tons of global food waste annually, youth continue to contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. With global temperatures on the rise, now is the time more than ever to educate the youth, who are the leaders of tomorrow, and equip them with the knowledge and drive to better the future for tomorrow by taking on the UN Sustainable Development Goal 13, climate action. With production and use of household goods and services responsible for 60% of global greenhouse gas emissions, we need to ensure that youth are responsible consumers, making environmentally responsible choices for goods and services, as stated in the UN SDG 12. Now passing it on to Aram to go over our solution.
Hello again, my name is Aram and I'll be talking about the solution. So our app and video game Climate Combaters aims to bridge the gap between youth awareness and action to combat climate change, supplying the lack of information provided in school environments and home teaching. Rather than presenting the information in a complex and formal manner, we chose a simpler and more engaging method for children to learn. And since mobile games are a very popular game for children and popular with the younger generation, we decided to use that as our desired method of presenting the information. Now passing it off to Miriam.
Hello, my name is Miriam and I will be talking about our game design and its approach. The game will be a traditional 2D pixel game app, which will have many interactive features, both educational and fun. Our fixation towards educating and having a fun experience for our app. First thing players will find after downloading the app is the loading screen. It will be a simple design with our logo and Climate Combaters on the front. Now in the game, you will have two options: a login button, which if you have already signed up beforehand, will take you straight to the game. If they are a new player, they will go to the sign up button where they will be taken to a page asking for their email, username, password, and age. Once they are finished putting in the accurate information, they have the opportunity to press play and start the game. When playing the game, you will have a certain backdrop, which in this case, we will have a tunnel for the first level. You will also have previously had the option to choose an avatar, which currently will be focused on the girl. Your objective is to get as many points as possible and defeat the monsters and obstacles along the way. Your avatar will have 3 hearts, and when you lose all 3, your character will be brought back to the beginning. There will also be 3 monsters you have to defeat in the level in order to advance on. Each monster has its own difficulty, and when struck, 1 heart will go down. The monsters will strike at the player when in a certain length, and unlike the demo, will move towards the player. When defeating all the monsters and reaching the end of the game, there will be a treasure chest, with a climate fact at the end as an award. These points will be contributed to the bonus levels implemented in the game later to spend. After that, you will be brought to a page indicating 3 choices. These 3 choices are to move on to the next level, retry the game to capture all the points the player missed, or learn more about global warming and its effects. When clicked on the What's Next button, the player will have the opportunity to learn more about climate change, take action, or in other words, implement healthy daily habits in their life, and volunteer opportunities. To go more into depth, this is the character design. As stated before, there will be an option for both a boy and girl. However, for the hackathon, our objective is to focus on the girl and code that part first and include the boy later on. The player will also carry a sword to slay all the monsters with. Next is the monsters and obstacles. The first monster is the gas monster, which has a damage level of 1, which depletes only half a heart. It will shoot lightning. The next is the water monster, which has a damage of level 2 and depletes 1 heart. It has the power to trap the opponent. After that is the fire monster, which has damage level 3 and takes 1.5 heart. Its attack is fire. Including all 3 of these is the obstacles, lightning, fire, and water. They will have similar attacks to the monsters, however, only have the damage of half a heart. The water will, however, only immobilize the player and not take any lives. Our team also plans to implement an educational factor to this game. In the beginning of the game, after clicking play, the player will be met with a fact about climate change. The next set of facts will be when defeating one of the primary monsters. The gas monster will have facts set towards gas emissions, water monster towards rising sea levels, and the fire monster has facts in any other given topic of climate change not covered by the other 2. After that, the next fact is when opening the chest, and that may be any fact about climate change. Finally, the player has the option to click on the What's Next button and explore more in depth about what they have learned. Passing it on to Myra for the business proportion.
Now going over the business model. We are a social enterprise as we intend to not only contribute to society, but also plan to generate some revenue and make a profit, part of which we will invest back into our business to cover expenses such as the cost to develop and maintain the game and loan repayments. Our gaming service will be free to download with some in-app purchases to unlock higher levels, and this will be a main revenue stream. The key metrics to track our progress upon launch would be the number of installs, daily active users, and monthly active users. After we ensure some interaction on our game, we will track the impact that we have on users by tracking the number of people that registered to volunteer in their community and conducting monthly surveys about lifestyle changes that they have made. Overall, targeted at youth, this game will educate users on how they contribute to climate change, allowing them the knowledge to alter their current lifestyle and reduce the enhanced greenhouse effect. Now passing it on to Aram to go over the marketing strategy.
Now we'll be going over the marketing strategy. Since more than half the world's global population uses social media, and the majority being youth, we believe that to reach our target market, promoting climate combaters through social media would be an effective method. Moving forward, we hope to pitch our idea to school boards and market it as a school-appropriate and educational game so that it can be used as a tool for students to learn more about climate change and gain access to resources and information not only at their home environment but also in public spaces. Now passing it off to Miriam.
Lastly, we wanted to discuss our competition and how our app caters to the needs of our target market in a more effective way, as video games allow information to be presented in a clean and very visually appealing way. Though this game isn't the first example of a climate change app, as there was mention of the existing games in the market, however, our approach was to introduce our information to our users and make the game more engaging, realistically practical, and appeal to the hearts of our target market. As both of these games presented on the slideshow, Coral Bleaching and Meet the Greenhouse Gases are great examples of games created for youth to learn about climate change. They both seem to be missing the interactive or engaging game aspect to them, as well as the information doesn't seem to be presented in an easy-to-learn method, and instead, the children are the facts, sorry. Instead, the information and facts are presented with paragraphs and paragraphs of text rather than simplified facts. In retrospect, our app aims to provide the information in a simple manner with an engaging game aspect. Next slide. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed our presentation. If there are any questions, we will take them now.
So now we pass the virtual mic to the judges.
Yeah, so I'll go first. First off, I want to say that you guys did really amazing. You know, I wish I was in a program like this that helped me build a concept for an application from start to finish that tackles like a UN goal. I think your idea to make a gamified app to tackle climate change and reach like youth and adolescents is really smart. And it's also, you know, appropriate given we live in like a social media age and a lot of things are digital. Maybe just touching on a couple positive points. I thought that your introduction to the actual presentation was really good. It captivated me. It got people interested. And I also liked the game actual design that you used. I thought the side scroller thing and like the 8-bit RPG aspect was really cool. In addition to that, I just had maybe 1 or 2 questions for you guys. So my biggest question when I was watching you present was, how would you ensure that players remain interested in the game over long periods of time? Because based on what I've seen so far, it seems that you're going to create a couple questions and information about climate change, but that won't change. So, if the player plays through the game once, that's all there is to see. So will this information be dynamic? Will you be updating it over a couple weeks? Like, how would that look so that people are engaged over long periods of time?
That's a great question. Thank you. Yeah, Mariam can take over the question.
Okay. So basically, we're planning to do like what you said, implement different facts every few months. But then we're also planning on later on implementing more levels into the game, focusing on different problems going around the world. Like for example, like ocean pollution and animal cruelty. We want to make a game for that too in the next levels. But right now, we're just going to focus on the climate change level and just have some interactive things. Does anyone else have anything else to add in my group?
There was one aspect where we were thinking of taking emails and sending little facts through emails and some information to keep them engaged. But Mariam basically covered it.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense.
I'm gonna take it over from here then. So yeah, amazing presentation. Thank you so much. First of all, it was perfectly timed, which shows that you have practiced a lot. That's always a great sign. And like Gabby already said, the intro was super engaging. And I loved your theme of the presentation, which perfectly matches your game idea. Like you had a very smooth flow to the presentation throughout. And I loved your selection of target audience too. I can see your consideration, how thorough it was, and matching the style of the app as a game. And that was great. And business plan, I thought that was very realistic and detailed. So kudos to that as well. And touching on question I had, so you are targeting youth, depending on how young they are. Sometimes choosing an app, that process involves parents too. So I was wondering, what's your plan for approaching parents in terms of marketing and also just selling the app and making the parents think, okay, this app is good for my children. What's your approach on that?
Our approach on that would be that if you go on Google Play or any service that allows you to download mobile apps, there is an area that is considered teacher friendly or school approved, teacher approved. So we're hoping to market our app in that category so parents would know that it is aimed for children and it is appropriate for a child to play.
Awesome. Love that. Thank you.